Get ready. 2 full hours of the real Kyper and Bourne show. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, a relieved Sammy McKee, David Sisboom-Ba, and Derek Brandeo pushing all the right buttons for us. Jaja Gabor's in the house?
I screwed up everything.
He literally looked at the lineup when he sat down.
I
He's
was
like,
so excited.
Listen, I stared at the blank page for an hour, just watching the highlights over and over. Wasn't a productive day.
Wherever you're watching or listening, Sportsnet 360, 590 The Fan in Toronto, streaming always on Sportsnet. Plus, if you miss our show, always download it on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube, also involved in all of this. By the skin of their teeth, Sammy, Team Canada pulls it off late in the third period, Nick Suzuki, and then it's followed up by Mitch Marner. I don't know how all the Mitch Marner haters feel about that one.
I don't think anyone in Canada cares today. Thank God. That was closer than any of us thought it was going to be.
In about 30 minutes, we'll welcome in Luke Fox, who's covering the game for Sportsnet.ca. He's over there. And then at the top of the hour, former Olympian Patrick Marleau will join us. A lot to say about Celebrini, Mitch Marner, all of them.
Most games played in NHL history for Patrick Marleau.
What?
Yeah. He has the most games played.
Gordie Howe?
Yes, no. He has more games played than he set that record.
That's crazy.
Didn't know that?
I thought he was second.
No, he's number one.
The most guy.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and then you get into pro sports and WHA. That's where Gordie's played the most.
Gotcha.
All right. I don't know where you want to begin. There's so many storylines here, including the one that almost cost them a medal in a late push by Team Canada. There's the Sidney Crosby story.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start, JB?
Well, I think the tent poles will just, tent pole things for me were, is Binnington going to be good? Is McDavid and the superstars, are they enough? Both those questions, absolutely yes. Jordan Binnington was fantastic. I thought he was really good. Connor McDavid, an absolute force of nature. I think maybe
little snake bitten today.
Yeah, 2 points. Yeah, one of my
just shooting the puck. He had ample opportunity to bury
down the left wing where he had the whole net and he missed it high right.
Yeah. So those things were great. I would say some concerns, and we'll get into all this stuff deeper. The depth maybe not playing as much as they're used to, and maybe not important enough at times. The D not moving the puck as well as maybe you need him to, but these are all secondary things.
Before we get into greater detail, let's just revisit a conversation we had just yesterday in terms of no adversity yet of any consequence. And will they? Heavily favored. You gave the bet 365
minus 1,300 favorites in that game.
There you go. So
that's
no one
wrong.
No one anticipated anything like what we witnessed today.
Which is funny. It's a hockey game. They had superstars and a good goal. And it can happen. That's
where we're at this point, because we've watched today, with the exception of Germany getting a tired Germany team, right? Back-to-back games, while Slovakia's, 3 full days off? That's the only blowout. The rest went into overtime. I put some money down that Sweden and U.S., very good chance we could see them go into overtime too. Yeah, for the trifecta.
We were saying the longer this is tied, the scarier it is for the Americans. Just
so if
one shot makes a difference.
If 0-0, 2 minutes into the second period.
If anything today did for us, it was remind us that one game, anything can happen here. Yeah. It is in a matter of 24 hours. Did this open up to it's anybody's tournament?
Well, no, I don't know. My main takeaway regarding that is just we watched those preliminary games and we came in here and said it's hard to do the show because everything was perfect.
Yeah.
They weren't tested to the point where we could see the cracks. And today, we knew the roster wasn't flawless. And so today, you could see the cracks for the first time. And I think it's going to be a much easier day for the radio hosts, but also for Canada as a country to be like, okay, here's where we're strong, where we're weak, what we need to shore up a little bit. It was a learning lesson. But I don't know. Do you want to start with let's just give
No.
Marner his flowers before we.
No. I just want to get into Sammy a little bit here. Too.
Oh, okay. Do emotions.
Yesterday, before we all took off for home, you said I'll be in at 10:40 to watch Canada here.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
I was tempted to come in.
You didn't want to watch with me.
And then I took a brick over my head, and I are you nuts? Why would you ever subject yourself to watching Sammy with a live sporting event involving the Blue Jays, the Leafs, or Team Canada?
I know. He's a child.
Right?
Dude, it's bad.
Whatever. Listen, you guys heard a group chat with me. You didn't have to experience, but that game had to feel very early. It had to feel, even when they went up 1-0, it had to feel that they were going to lose. I really thought they were. Oh, so we're just going to say stuff from the group chat on air now?
No.
That's what he's just looking at. Look at he's looking at. He's getting ready. It's like, boy, you want me to go into the group chat? Let's get
We're not
careful
going to
here.
do this. We're not going to do this.
Holy hell!
No, but
oh my God, the Canadian guy was worried that one of the best teams ever was going to lose the Czechs in the quarters. What an idiot! What an idiot!
No,
Sue
but
him.
if we're
Give
gonna,
me a break.
I'm not going to read all of them.
Good
just
Lord.
one.
Look,
Can I just read one?
That we're going to lose.
That one doesn't bother me. The one that
I don't even know what I said.
I know. The one that you sent me that just had me a little chuckled was, I'm done. And I don't even know what that means.
Because you said,
and I was scared.
You want to know the response?
Yeah.
When you said, Sid's done, I said, I'm done.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Emotionally ruined.
Yeah, it hurts. I mean, that, to me,
that was
it's like, there was an incredible win.
Yes.
The elation's amazing, and we can talk about Marner in a bit. But the black cloud hanging over this is...
Well, good lead-in.
Our nation's greatest player of this generation maybe not being involved for the rest of this.
Thank you for clarifying. I'm done.
I'm done because Sid was done.
Okay. See, I didn't know that, and I was actually scared to follow up on that. I don't know if you're like,
are you going to be in today?
No,
I don't know if what I'm done means, but you clarified it for me, so thank you.
Yeah.
So before, I think let's take the positive stuff first. I mentioned to you guys, I thought Nick Suzuki could have a moment. That did come through. Mitch Marner gets another OT winner for Canada in a 1-year span. They have these guys playing down the lineup, and it's you've been waiting for it to come out for stretches. It felt today at one point like they were the Leafs or the Oilers or whatever, where it's like if the top guys aren't on, they don't have a chance. And that's not the case. Those guys need to be involved.
I watched Nick Suzuki take an absolute nothing play.
Nothing. It was the end of the shift.
End of the
up
shift.
the ice.
Could have easily got the puck in deep and came off, but he pushed hard, and he actually separated Hronik.
He did that twice.
Created the turnover.
Created the turnover, and then made the play behind the net.
And you know what he's doing there, Kip? And you know this as well as anyone.
And I thought it was fantastic.
Is when you're in a line change, one guy's supposed to stay on. You keep pressure on the puck so they can have a clean breakout and set up. You buy time. Suzuki's just buying time for guys.
Yeah.
And manages to win the puck, which is crazy.
And I think a lot of people, I mean, they love, because we were saying yesterday that Suzuki should come out. And I think one of the main reasons you're going to say that is because I thought he looked super out of place on the wing. I thought that he didn't necessarily know where to be, didn't know what he was doing. And then I thought as soon as Sid goes out and they put him in the middle of the ice, I thought he was actually very good for the rest of the game, playing in the middle of the ice. And it's like his natural position. It makes sense. I mean, he did have a tap-in backdoor that he missed totally. Yeah. But, I did think he was much more noticeable.
He ripped that, by the way. The angle was not that open, and he caught a lot of it.
He had enough to shovel a puck in an empty net.
On an unbelievable pass. No looker by Marner. Put it right in the sweet spot.
Yeah.
Must have reminded him.
Jarvis was good.
And then, Taves, we talk about where the offense, he made an incredible redirect shot from the point. Yeah. And I just want to acknowledge that too, because these guys, at times we were questioning whether or not there's enough push from the back end to create.
He also shot one into the shin pads with a minute left to give a breakaway.
I will say that is going to become a thing for me.
Bigger issue.
The back end. That today watching those guys. I got to tell you, every time Harley was out there, I was like, whew, thank goodness. It's someone who can go back, make a play, break the puck up, skate up the ice. Parayko and Sanheim for me, those guys played 8 and 10 minutes tonight. Didn't look great. Parayko didn't have a good night.
I was definitely concerned with Parayko going back on pucks. Yeah. Just feels like he doesn't have the time or space to break it out. So that's a concern for sure.
I don't mind him defending. I don't like him when they get the puck.
Did you guys
need Morrissey back?
They do. Did you want to talk about the too many men thing? Because the too many men thing is crazy.
It's a mess.
I'll tell you, I thought it was just horrifically officiated today.
You did, eh?
I did. Sorry?
The game in general.
The game in general.
I thought it was coach said as much.
I thought it was a dog's breakfast. Some of those calls, the one that led to the power play goal by
McKinnon?
Was that the
2-2 goal?
The 2-2 goal?
When it was the scrum and he came in and he cross-checked McKinnon in the back.
Soft as baby doo-doo.
I actually don't remember ever seeing that called where someone outside a scrum doing a position jockey.
And like, I don't want to see that call. It's not a Canadian thing. It's not a Czechia. It's like, let the guys play.
Not to be that guy, but was it the international official or was it a NHL
No,
official?
I think it was our guys.
Well, there's one of each. Mikhail Holm, and then there's Chris Rooney.
But the too many men on the ice, too.
He's like, I'm calling that. He's like, I'm a Euro guy.
The too many men?
Yeah.
Can't have that.
Yeah.
Just can't.
I would say
I'm sorry.
That'd have been a national story for years here.
That would have been.
You can't miss that.
So if you didn't hear about it, the Czechs were legitimately playing with 6 men on the ice. So whether that's the guy who's blocking the shot, the fact that there's a body there is the trailer on the rush. They used the 6th guy. They scored with 6 guys. And I said this on Twitter, but like it happens because there's no chaos at the bench. The Czechs don't know they have 6 on the ice either. They actually make a change where 2 come off and 2 come on to keep 6 on the ice as the rush is going on. They didn't know.
There was 8 Czech players.
There was a legit change happening when there's 8.
But they were when you look down the ice,
you can see 8 bodies on the ice.
8 bodies on the ice and the puck enters the net.
And that would have been a national story here to lose on that.
That's Ernie Clement. That's ball getting
Wedged
lodged.
Ball.
Yeah, that's what that is. If they lose that game,
even the Celebrini interference call, like it's an icing, and I'd like a warning for the kid, right? Because it's a dead play.
Yeah,
right. Just
they're jockeying for body position.
I see that
He's
again,
leaning on the guy,
and you go to the benches. I see that interference again. Somebody's coming off the ice next time. That's To me, that's the right play in a elimination game.
Especially when, I don't know how much longer in the game, Andre Palat just body checks Sid nowhere near the puck, sends him flying.
That was wild.
And it's just like, that is 10 times worse than what Celebrini did.
Greased the guy mid-break.
It's not like he just like hit anybody. It's Sidney Crosby. He like just hammers him.
He took a couple of lumps.
He did.
And Gudas. And by the way,
God, I hate it.
I'd love to trade for Gudas if I'm coming back home in a week.
Yeah.
Any team at all.
Leafs could have had him 5 years ago or something.
He's a gamer. This guy is a 100% gamer. Mm-hmm. And today kind of reminded us of that.
Well, and to their credit, the Czechs, crazy looking at some of their ice time. Philip Hronek played 30 minutes and 20 seconds. Was only on the ice in OT for less than a minute. So, like, he played half of the game.
He was cooked at the end of the game.
It was crazy watching them back off, like legit a 0-5 forecheck, and they were just like, we're up. See if you can get through us. And Dostal made a lot of saves. By the way, the OT winner for Dostal, not your finest moment in a game where he was really good.
Yeah,
but
pulled too far to the left.
He did make a lot of great saves for them, though. And, the Czechs just packed the house, and that was that.
And Mitch Marner, twice now, 4 nations, and now saves Canada's season at the Olympics.
The great Brad Marchand quote where he said,
Sammy,
I've long been saying that this guy's my favorite player, and it's never been truer than today.
He said that to Jackie Redmond today.
Yeah. It makes a lot of, you know what it does for Leaf fans, though? It kind of reminds them what is missing. Yeah. Is that?
Yeah, he's great in 3-on-3.
Right?
He's fantastic in 3-on-3.
Right.
I remember them being great in 3-on-3 when he was here. They won a ton of 3-on-3 games.
Change it to 3-on-3.
Man, if playoffs was 3-on-3, the Leafs would have won the cup by now.
But
honestly, though, like
it does bother me, the 3-on-3.
It's too bad. It's a different sport.
It's a different sport. It's a different game. Elimination, like
Czechs had to take half their players off the ice.
We would laugh at it if it ever got to a serious conversation about awarding a Stanley Cup with it.
Well, and it almost like if Canada-US goes to the gold medal overtime and, Jack Hughes to whoever, Tage Thompson in overtime, and they score, it's almost like, I don't know, was that how we wanted to do that? I honestly feel, could we not, as hockey people, all come together? Everyone wants this to be 5-on-5. Could everyone there not just be like, from now on, we're just doing 5-on-5?
Yeah, like
sign whatever papers we got to sign. No one wants this to be 3-on-3 overtime. We all got somewhere to be. It's been 4 years between events.
It must be, right?
Maybe they just don't want them playing for an extra, 6 period. Like, I don't know.
If they play 3 extra overtimes, the best players will play 20 more minutes.
You're right.
I
totally agree. But it's funny because you mentioned the Marner thing, and I would say that I got the most messages when that happened out of anything that's ever happened when we've been doing this show together, in terms of DMs and tweets and texts and everything.
And what was
It was a fascinating dichotomy of what people were saying.
And what were they saying? Anybody but him.
A lot of FUs, this is your fault. Like, you drove him out of town. A lot of that, which is fair.
No, it's not.
I'll listen to that. No, sure. Like, I've been incredibly, like, I sent a tweet about this, and I'll say it to you too, Kyper, look you in the eye. I'm happy to take the L. If they want to lash out, on, hey, no.
Sammy, you know what? It's not you. First of all,
Well,
it's not you.
I'm a big part of it.
It's the representation over the past few years, over the ones that loved him and the ones that hated him. That's all. We know he was the most polarizing Leaf player in history. We know that.
But I can't imagine after that game and just the way it played out and how close we were to losing in the quarterfinals to Czechia again, like the same juniors, and having Czechia be our papa all of a sudden. Like, that was
They're
really on the
Canadian
table.
kryptonite, man.
But I can't imagine watching Marner score that and any Leaf fan being like, I wish it wasn't him. Like, there's no one that lives like that, right?
Oh, there is.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of people.
If I can sit here, a guy that's been arguing against Mitch Marner, against Nick Kypreos for 5 years, and I can sit here and say, I'll take the L.
Yeah.
You got to take it too. Because, listen, it was a fantastic goal. They sagged off a little bit. I think they thought he was maybe going to turn back. He took what they gave him, he put in the net.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
And, of course, Mark Stone had to bring up Toronto in his post-game thing. It's like, does all these guys think about his Toronto?
Tell me. What do you say?
Let me see here.
I haven't heard any of it.
We're not going to hear anything.
I also think, like, had that happened ever in Toronto, a lot of those people would feel differently.
Well, it happened lots of times in 3-on-3 in Toronto. Mark Stone on the idea Mitch Marner isn't clutch. This is from our Luke Fox. We can talk to him more about it, too, when he comes on. As a teammate, I haven't experienced that. I haven't played in the playoffs yet. 4 Nations, he gets a huge overtime goal for us, makes an incredible play for the winner. Then tonight, when we need him the most, he makes the play. So I think it's a Toronto thing.
Oh. He didn't need to go there. He just wanted to.
It's always about Toronto, boys. All roads lead back to Toronto. Every American's making fun of Matthews because he plays for the Leafs. It's all about the Leafs. That's what it's all about.
Oh, boy.
Oh, big save, Markstrom. It's a game.
Well, 0-0, halfway through.
So Sid.
Okay.
What do you think? What do you know? I should say.
What do I feel?
What do you hear?
I feel like if he can't come back to try it, he's not the type of guy that leaves a game like that and shows up the next night. I mean, to me, I hope I'm wrong.
Is he there Sunday?
But he's got to be really hurting for him not to come back in that scenario and at least try it. And we've seen others come back and try and then maybe disappear after that. But the way they showed him right into the dressing room in the hallways, right? Yeah. Like he couldn't bear any weight on it.
And I say a concerning part of that too is that he doesn't get hit and react in pain. It's like he got hit, took a couple strides, and then felt something was not working.
After he got sandwiched again, right on the same shift.
I don't think anything happened there. I think it happened on the previous Gudas contact, and he was trying to go, and it just wasn't there for him. Whether that be a ligament, MCL maybe, pure speculation. But
I think there's a world where it's like, oh, Sid's going to play. And it's like he plays 3:30 in a game. Where he's like the extra forward and he's on the bench.
Just gave him a good run too, eh?
He did.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what bothers me about the Olympic hockey is that guys like that who never really fight and are guys that are just kind of like ratty on the edges guys can run Sidney Crosby without any repercussions.
Mm-hmm.
Like if there's fighting allowed, if this is the Four Nations or an Olympic NHL event, he might have to immediately. Tom Wilson is going out there immediately and addressing that. But you got to eat it. You can't do anything about it. That's what drives me crazy about the Olympic hockey.
Yeah, fair enough. In terms of what happens then, so Brad Marchand played the fewest minutes for Canada up front.
He didn't look anywhere near like the Brad Marchand we know.
I think he'll kind of be their 13th guy next game, and you're going to get consistent shifts from Jarvis and Suzuki and Hagel, those guys down the lineup. It's funny. 5 guys on Canada played over 20 minutes. McKinnon, McDavid, Celebrini, who played the most among forwards. Makar played 26 and Taves 22. After that, guys, the next highest time on ice is 15 minutes. Like a big gap. Yeah. Everyone's 22 minutes down to 15. Mark Stone being at 15. So there's a lot of these guys who are used to playing 20 minutes, getting into the flow of things. I thought actually after the Crosby injury was when the Suzuki line started to look more relevant. They started getting more shifts. Suzuki went to the middle, and you started to feel like you didn't just have one line.
Yeah.
Was there a part of you during the game going, maybe they could use Bennett in front of the net a little bit more?
Buddy, I thought that the second the puck dropped. I was like, this is going to be a heavier Czech team. Hurdle's big, Gudis is big, Hronik's big. They could have used him out there today. Is he
banged
hurt?
up? Yeah.
No, I think it was just a coach's decision.
Yeah, I don't.
That's what I think. Anyways,
like seen him in there today. It sucks to say because Brad Marchand's such a legend, but I'd rather have Bennett.
I bet you they will. I bet you they rectify that.
Well, he has to be in because Crosby's out. So
if Crosby's out, then so I think the next kind of talking point is, USA just scores to make it 1-0 with 8:57 left in the second period.
Dylan
Not sure who it would look like a tip in front on a point shot, maybe Dylan Larkin. The Binnington thing. I thought this was like the quintessential Binnington experience with Team Canada, where what the goals, I don't know which one you want that he let in. Lets in 3.
Bad bounce, ripper from pass off the post.
And then the one in the slot, pull out when they have 6 guys in the ice. But when it got down to sweaty time again, multiple massive saves.
I've been around the game a long time. I know others have as well, but you just sense a little bit of a calm, almost cocky arrogance in a good way when it gets really tight. Like this guy really presents himself as, you're not getting that cheese by me.
There's the breakaway by Natchez. There's one in OT where I think it was Simic had a wide open look about a minute into overtime there. So this is exactly what it's been, right? This is why you've been a proponent of his and so many other people have been a fan of his, is just like, don't worry about the numbers. Just trust that this guy's a gamer, and he has proven time and time again that he is. So he's the dude.
It's funny because early in the game, I'm much more concerned about him than later in the game.
Totally. I feel the same way.
In the first period, every shot, I'm like, ugh.
But if you had Thompson in, I'd feel totally different.
But when the game's late and tight, I'm like, okay, I like that breakaway. I honestly was just like, he's going to make this save. I really believe in him. And that is probably what they feel too. So credit to him.
Do you feel like some of the line juggling is like too much? Or are you guys fine with the way the Coopers handled his guys? Every shift is like, who's it going to be?
It's just so fast.
It's so fast. You don't know who's coming off, who's feeling something. And it's a gut instinct, right? And you're coaching differently in a one-game winner take all.
Yeah.
Like it's a gut feel on calling somebody else up that you haven't necessarily used on a particular line. It happens a lot.
How about Celebrini, goal and 2 assists?
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
I mean, just keeps.
9 points.
Yeah.
5 goals.
Most ice time among Canadian forwards.
And the exact same play in overtime that they did in the in the Four Nations.
Mm-hmm.
The drop back play to Mitch Marner, who goes through and he scores the winning goal. It was very eerily similar to the play.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go, man. If Sweden wins this game, Canada plays Sweden in the semis, and if America wins this, they play the Finns, who had a dramatic comeback against.
They were also down.
They were also down 2-0, I think, with 6 minutes left, and they come back and win. So, yeah.
Well,
we should go to break and get to Luke.
Going to be one of those two, and either way, it's going to be
something else.
No, we're good. Okay. We're good. Luke
By the
Fox.
way, last thing before we go to him, Cooper saying to his team, "We needed something like this after the game." I really like that because I do feel like it's an eye opener.
A jolt.
Well, and just to play in competitive games and a reminder of what it's going to feel like next game.
Wake up call.
Yeah, a real wake up call.
Luke Fox, NHL writer for Sportsnet.ca, covering the games for us in Italy. Up after the break. Welcome back to the show. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. Team Canada on an overtime winner by Mitch Marner survives to live another day for the gold medal. Let's go to Luke Fox, who's there witnessing it all. Happy to have him stop by our show. Luke, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well.
Just another
one of the most
easy game for Team Canada.
Yeah, just one of the more memorable games I think I've ever seen in my life. Like, that was nail biting. Holy cow. And afterwards, Brad Marchand was basically saying, maybe a little bit of adversity is good for us. Maybe it'll humble us a little bit. But boy, were they playing with fire there.
Yeah, it was much closer than many of us thought it would be. I think in all the heroes getting praised for the day, I think Jordan Bennington, kind of maybe an underrated story. Not underrated, but just like it could have easily ended and gone the other way were he not as fantastic as he was today.
Well, the Martin Necas breakaway save that he made, like, at that point, I'm standing up out of my seat in the press box and thinking, like, this could be over right now. Big game Binner. It's kind of, he lives up to the reputation. Yeah, there was a couple times where he was swimming a little bit and he's making you a little bit nervous, but it's like he needed to just be one save better than Lucas Dostal at the other end, who was pretty locked in, playing 2 games in a row. And he did it, right? Just stop the next one. He deserves a lot of credit. So does Nick Suzuki, coming up with the tying goal, getting moved to center once Crosby went down. Of course, Mitch Marner, is going to make the headlines. And then Celebrini quietly had a 3-point night. And the only one in the whole tournament who has more points than him is Connor McDavid. Like, there's a lot of stars here shining in this game. It was nuts.
So in saying that, Luke, where's your headline tomorrow for Sportsnet.ca? Celebrini, Marner, Canada just getting by the skin of their teeth, or no Sid Crosby for the better half of the game? And, is he coming back? Is he lost for the tournament?
We don't know. It didn't look good, Nick. We asked John Cooper after the game, and he said there's no update. He said he definitely couldn't go in the third, but he was still there in the intermission with the guys, and his message was, go get them, boys. And there was a sense that the group leaned on Crosby's absence as a motivating factor. The mantra was, this can't be Sid's last game at the Olympics. We got to come back. We got to go out there and win this for him. Also, talked to Radko Gudas, and, as typical hockey style, he said, hey, I'm just trying to play the guy hard. We're trying to win, and I hope he's okay. But, you see that leg buckle, his right leg, and his knee bend like that, and see him hobbling off down the tunnel, unable to put weight on it. You have to be concerned. Doesn't look like the chances of him playing a game in less than 48 hours are that great. But, they have depth. This is why you bring the extra forwards, and it's going to be tense because it's hard to imagine Team Canada coming out to play an elimination game in 87 not being in the lineup.
It is. And I also think that maybe Nathan McKinnon's not 100%. He's looked fine. He's played very well for Canada, but there's something going on there. A lot of guys actually kind of battling through some things to play for Canada here.
Yeah, Marchand is. Bennett is, who didn't play today. Josh Morrissey looked great in practice yesterday, but obviously was not good enough to go, because I think if he was one of the healthiest 7 defensemen available, he would be in the lineup. So it was a mild surprise that, he did another twirl this morning, but not good enough to play. They're battered, right? But they're not the only team dealing with this, so they have to push through, and it's going to be against probably an even tougher opponent. Now, if the Swedes upset Team America right now, then they get them. If not, it'll be the Finns, and the Finns are riding high off an emotional overtime win of their own, so they're in for it right now.
You're watching and listening to Luke Fox, NHL writer for Sportsnet.ca, covering the games in Italy. I guess now, while we've watched the likes of a top line with McDavid and Celebrini, it really may come down to the third and fourth lines, if that's what we call them now. Nick Suzuki made a pretty remarkable play, considering he was almost at the end of a shift here to salvage the tie late for the team, and then ending up winning it in overtime. But it's almost as if now these guys become major storylines.
They do, and it can't be all McDavid and Celebrini doing the heavy lifting. They do need contributions further down the lineup, and I think to Justin's point about McKinnon not looking 100% there, that second line has really kind of struggled to find some chemistry. So I think it's a real positive for the confidence that a guy like Suzuki gets that moment. Cooper had a great line. He said, Canada needed a goal, and Nick Suzuki answered. And we had a chance to talk to Nick after the game, and he basically said, talking about the forecheck that led to the play to get for him to get the puck, get it up to the point, get to the slot. He said, I've worked on that 1,000 times with Marty St. Louis. He really credited his Montreal coach for having him work on that play. And I found it really interesting that we saw the best of him when he slid back to center in Crosby's absence. And I think the adjustment to the wing for Suzuki was a little bit harder. I think we just assume centers can move to the wing really easily, but I think he was thrown off a little bit. Tight tournament, you got to learn a new position pretty quickly. And I don't think he was at his best in the preliminary round, but boy, what a moment for Suzuki here.
Yeah. Sometimes I think, Luke, we look for different things to talk about aside from the obvious. And to me, Connor McDavid is the best. I tweeted today something like, he's the best player to ever play. And I know people get mad about that. Like, I'm aware of Wayne Gretzky. I'm just being reactionary in the moment, and Mario Lemieux. But, this guy is in the conversation among the greatest to have ever done it. Maybe you can say he's the best. Not the greatest career yet, but the most dynamic or talented, not the greatest career. Either way, are we not seeing him at his absolute peak in moments like this?
Yeah, and, watching him in the Stanley Cup final, he's had moments where you shake your head and you can't believe what he's doing. But what he's done in this tournament just is the next level. And it's like you don't think he has another level, and then he goes and finds it. I'm looking at that second period. He was basically willing this team back into the game. Like, Canada tilted the ice after going down 2-1, and it was all Connor driving everything. Like, the other lines, it was a lot of sawed-off shifts, but when McDavid, straddled the boards and got out there, you immediately paid attention. He's just moving faster. The puck's on his stick. He's making plays. He's creating dangerous looks all over the place. And today he tied the all-time record with 11 points for the NHLers being in the Olympics. And fingers crossed for Canada, he has 2 more games to go to add to that.
Celebrini's not taking his foot off the gas pedal again. Multiple point game and instrumental again on the winner here. Is there a chance that actually, when this is over, he could kind of, take a little bit of the spotlight away from McDavid here because of the fact that he's still a teenager? That in itself is something that we're going to be talking about maybe for the next 20 years.
Incredible story. And I don't know if you guys saw the anecdote that came out on Celebrini recently when he got named to the team. He called his dad and he's like, I don't know if they're even going to play me. And here he is, top line, second in tournament scoring amongst the best players in the whole world. And you just see him. He's so smart, so dangerous. I think it was telling that when Crosby went out, you needed someone to join that fearsome top power play unit. And it was Celebrini. It was the kid. You need someone to take a penalty shot. It's Celebrini. He's getting thrown head first into these major moments and delivering. And hockey people like us are very familiar with him. We know he's having a great year in San Jose, but this is prime time. The whole world's watching. This is like a brand new stage for this kid. 19, ice in his veins. It is something to watch. He's next to McDavid. He's probably the story of this whole thing.
How is the vibe over there? It can't be really a crowd for one team or the other, but, as this gets on and the games ramp up, what do you see in there?
It's getting way more lively. There were a couple sleepier games in the preliminary round, but now that we're in the knockout stage, the crowds are fantastic. They're definitely split depending on the country. Sometimes it's exactly 50-50, but there's representatives from all the nations that are left standing here, and the crowds are so into it. There was a lot of Czech fans today, boy, and they were hanging out before, drinking Pilsner Urquells on the street, wearing their makeup, like just getting geared up. And then you see all the people in Canada jerseys, like some people have like the throwback Team Canada jerseys from like 87 and stuff like that, and then there's people representing their favorite NHL team as well. It's a really different atmosphere. It's not like going to an NHL game because the crowd is so split down the middle, and it's a blast. And the European countries have all these chants, and it's definitely favors, I think, the European countries more than Canada and US, just because of geography and how easy it is for those fans to get here.
Already a ton of speculation on what kind of lineup, Luke, Team Canada will have in the semifinal here, and that will be led by the pending news on Sid Crosby. But Josh Morrissey, we assume that it was held out for precautionary reasons. Maybe the fact that they didn't think the game would be as close as it was today, but we assume he's coming back in, correct?
I would bet on it, yeah, but I thought he might even play today. So we watched them skate yesterday, and it was a full hour hard skate. Teams are only allowed exactly 1 hour to practice, and then the Zamboni comes out and kicks them off like they're in Pee Wee. So they went right to the Zambonis coming on the ice. They're still doing their stretch, like they push it to the limit. And Morrissey was a full participant in that practice, and he was with his normal partner when everyone's healthy, Colton Parayko, and he looked like a guy who could play a hockey game. So he went out again this morning, tested it out, but I got to think he's coming back into the lineup.
Is there anyone, we've been positive on they're fantastic. Is there anyone for this Canadian team where we're left wanting, where it's like, okay, this guy's got a little bit more in the tank than we've seen so far? Because, they've mostly been very good. So it would be nitpicky. But anyone you got?
It is a little nitpicky. Maybe McKinnon, just because I think he is banged up, and that line has kind of struggled to find chemistry until the point that he gets promoted to McDavid's line. I thought Mark Stone honestly had a bit of a rough game, but previous to this, I thought he was fantastic. But that giveaway in the neutral zone that led to the Czechs' first goal, I didn't like that. And then he had another one. But we're really picking nits. I think Colton Parayko, there were a couple shifts where he lost his man, but come on. Hockey's a game of mistakes. They survived this scare, and then you've got to think maybe this has woken them up a little bit, because they did kind of cruise just through the first 3 games.
Luke, keep up the great work, man. Really appreciate you stopping by. Thanks for doing this.
Okay. Ciao.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Ciao. That's back-to-back chows.
Back-to-back chows.
Ciao. It's great.
Listen, I love Mark Stone. Maybe one of the first times in his career I've seen him completely flat-footed on that pass.
Pizza.
Oh, my gosh. The cross-ice pass that led to the goal.
I think he was at the end of a shift, and he was like,
I don't know.
Rushed it. It was very unusual.
He is, we know his IQ's off the charts and his stick's off the charts.
For that to end up in
but
the net, I felt
that's
bad for
so not Mark Stone.
No. Well, I saw the play happen. I saw 6 on the jersey. I was like, is that Stone or Marchand? Who did that? It was very un-Canadian hockey.
Right-hand shot.
I'm torn. Yeah, of course. I'm torn on some of this stuff. You actually said at one point in our group chat, Canada's got to be careful they don't open it up. That one more could have been the dagger. And I'm just thinking to myself, and I didn't respond because I was watching the hockey game, I got to believe if Canada opens it up, it works in their favor. Like, they're going to outscore an open game. They're going to outscore the Czechs.
It's the odd man rush that makes it 3-1 where the game's over.
Right. Yeah. I think in an open hockey game, it favors Canada, but the Czechs weren't going to open it up. They were never going to open it up.
No, they're just going to wait for their opportunity.
So
like,
it would have burned Canada.
Natchez did on the breakaway, right? You shot it right into him, and that's the turnover that you're scared of. The pinch, the turnover, the block shot.
And since we're in the Leafs hour, I'll say that this is something that the Leafs have done in playoff games where they're not able to stay patient and just wait.
Yeah.
And they go, we can't score. We got to open it up.
Yeah.
And then you get hit with that one. And you go, oh, they didn't open it up. That was just us.
It is managing the clock right there. And I think one of the goals that came back was when Harley, again, jumped in and had a shot blocked.
Yeah,
And
it was
then-
Taves who had the shot blocked.
Right.
Or was it Harley who had the shot blocked?
It was blocked by the 15th Czech skater on the ice at that time.
Yeah.
So I'll say this. Their jobs, except for Makar, is just to get the puck up to the forwards.
Yeah.
Get it, find them, and let them go, because that's how you're going to win a gold medal.
Seeing that in action, seeing that is so clearly the Canadian perspective, get it up to our forwards.
Yes.
Would have been nice to take a couple guys who do that really well. And I do feel like they missed Schaefer today. That was one of my thoughts watching the game, was like,
You know
it'd
what?
have been nice if instead of Sanheim, it's Schaefer going back on the puck.
You got to play 2 more games. We assume that they'll look like the one we saw today.
Close.
And you are correct. It would be nice.
One more guy.
Harley's
who would
the
just
closest
break it
thing
out.
we saw today.
They miss
outside of
Morrissey, boys. Morrissey
Makar.
can snap it
They
up.
really missed him.
If you're Morrissey and you're Harley and you're Taves and you're
Right.
Makar, you're Theodore, you're moving the puck pretty good.
Harley, I think
one out.
eventually can get there, but he hasn't had the best season.
No, but
You
I
know?
liked him in this. You didn't like him today?
No, he's growing.
Yeah.
He's just growing. He's not. His game isn't at the peak level right now. So, but he is, outside of Morrissey being out, and of course Makar, he's really it.
It is funny, though, seeing how much debate about who Canada would take, should take, whatever. A lot of people had Harley. Is Harley in? Is he out? He's having a bad season. They use him, like in Cooper said, it was never close, but they use him more than Sanheim, more than Parayko.
Schaefer would have been a
He'd
star.
have been Celebrini.
He would have been a star in this tournament.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
no
becoming
questions
clearer and clearer.
asked for me.
Yeah.
And I'm sure if you gave Doug Armstrong and co. the true serum, them watching Sanheim getting under 10 minutes, like you couldn't give Matt Schaefer 10 minutes in this
But
game.
you know what? I think if you could ask them that January 15th, they'd have done it. They
You
had to
think?
pick their team by December 31st, and Schaefer just kept the pedal down. And I
kept getting better.
It got clearer and clearer as we got closer that he was still doing it.
What was the date on the Leafs and Islanders?
After December 31st,
was
for
it?
sure. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Was it? Yeah.
Definitely
That
was.
that was my convincing. This guy should be there.
It'd be nice to have him.
Hockey night in Canada. I think he's
Can he
overtime
handle the
winner.
moment?
Yeah. Just crap.
And I'll throw out Connor Bedard too. Could have easily been a star in this as well.
I love Seth Jarvis as a hockey player. There's no doubt in my mind in some of these games you'd feel like, God, it'd be nice to have Bedard out there making, elite plays. Really like Jarvis, but, Bedard can do some other things. And I think there's probably a lot of people at home doing told you so's, hearing people say that, like, bring the good guys. Bring the good guys.
Wow.
Don't overthink it. But you need to kill penalties,
Narrowly getting past Czechia. These conversations.
They
They were always there. It was just a matter of whether they were going to surface or not.
Totally. And you got Jim Nill and Dubas and Ryan Getzlaff and Doug Armstrong and all those people watching the game when they're cutting to them and they're all chin tucked into their shirts.
Please,
It's like,
God.
oh, my God.
But, I mean,
But ultimate judgment looms.
I couldn't even imagine them getting on a plane and coming
Oh,
home
my God.
losing today.
Finished 7th or whatever that was.
That would have been one of
fifth, I
those
guess.
where it just
would have been 2006.
completely
They lost to Russia.
haunt you.
But I will say this.
Right.
Had that happened, and I was thinking this during the game, it's so unfair, right? Because the way hockey works, they were perfect for the first 3 games. They're so good. They picked an excellent team that you might have quibbled on the fringes. Sometimes the other team gets some saves and rips one in, gets a bounce off a skate, and we'd have buried them.
Fast game out there.
Fast game. The first goal the Czechs scored was the type of goal where you go, oh, that's when weird teams win.
Yeah, and then
And weird things happen.
the puck lands on one of the best superstar in the league's stick at the top of the circle, and he pulverizes the post and
Absolutely
in.
annihilated that one-timer.
Yeah, you can't hit one harder than that.
And so, if you're going home after a loss because Suzuki's tip is a millimeter different and hits a pad, are those guys that much worse at what they did at their selections?
Man,
the
the
same
margins are
team.
thin, boy.
And
Holy.
what you truly remember, right? 10
win?
years from now or
To win.
20 years from now. Not how many points they got. Not
that they looked awesome for
individual,
3 games in the
right?
prelims.
Who has the record, the Olympic record for points?
No. Okay.
It's like, no.
That-
Nah, did you win or did you
Didn't
lose?
even medal. Didn't even sniff a bronze.
Yeah.
If you lose that game, and it's. But that's sports. It's a results-based business, not a great effort business.
We were chatting a little bit upstairs if we were going to pick some nits. Haven't got a lot from Reinhardt on this team.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
Just
Haven't had any.
He's in a checking role. He still has power play looks.
Yeah, he's still in the top unit.
There's not that much. There's still not that much room to go look like a 50-goal scorer out there.
No, but he hasn't looked like a 20-goal scorer. I haven't seen him have the hockey puck in the tournament. And I'm not saying he's been bad. I'm saying he's been irrelevant, which is surprising for a guy who scored.
Yeah, what did he play today?
50.
I think he played under 10 today.
Yeah, 937.
Yeah.
On the power play, he's just not.
And he's isn't he one of the first 6 guys they named?
I don't know about that. But
I think he was.
Yeah, you might be right.
I think he was.
You might be right.
You know, like
Who's-
he'd
who's
be
he-
the lead.
He's not on a.
Hey, do you
He's
have
not on
more?
an engine driving line.
No, he's not. He's a
So-
and
Yeah,
he's
but
used to being in the top
It's
6.
okay.
Why,
It's all right.
why are we giving him a pass for not
No,
being
I don't
good
think
enough
we're,
to play more
we're
than
not.
9 minutes?
We're not. We're just establishing that it's not everybody can shine, and some guys got to pick up a lunch pail and just make sure you don't hurt the ball club.
And I'm fine with
that's
that.
what he's doing
but
right
I think
now.
when John Cooper says, I need more Seth Jarvis than Sam Reinhart out there, you're making a statement about what you think about who's going. And maybe there's a guy you can get a little more out of power play. Whatever they run on the power play is a lot of flank to down low,
Yeah.
possibly backdoor, possibly a stuff. It's not a lot of up to the bumper. So that makes him kind of a decoy.
Last thing before we go, you kind of alluded to it with Luke. You sent a tweet about it today. But will anyone ever look as good playing hockey as Connor McDavid looks right this very second? He's playing a
It's like,
separate
thank God
sport.
it's him. When you're rooting for Canada, you're like, oh, phew, it's 97.
I can't wait for the 97 shifts.
Yeah.
I'm like, God, can he play again?
You know,
Everyone's hanging
he's-
on.
I know. It's
He's-
unbelievable.
he is going to go down as the greatest. When I say greatest, the best talent,
Most dynamic.
the most
dynamic,
dynamic, the best talent.
Yeah.
But if they lose, especially to the U.S.,
Yeah.
okay, he's going to take a beating.
Eating.
Okay, a beating. So it really everybody just needs to be reminded of that margin of winning or losing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, he's going to be remembered as the most talented player, but if he does not lift a Stanley Cup and does not win a gold medal here, his reputation is going to take a hit. And it won't have anything to do with how fast he skates or how much he entertains you. It won't.
You know, I take some umbrage with the whole thing about like team victories. There's so many more teams in the league now than there used to be. And it's tough to get there. And so much of it you're not on the hook for. Leon Draisaitl not winning this. He's not on the hook because his teammates aren't good enough.
We don't think that way, though. Not with the greatest. Not when we're putting him on
I
Mount
just want to say
Rushmore.
quick, when I tweeted about him being awesome today, someone wrote me, no cups, no gold medals.
Yeah, exactly. It's out there.
He's played for 0 gold medals, and he's been in back-to-back cup finals with, the Mighty Ducks.
Our thanks to Luke Fox. We go national next. Patrick Marleau, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, will join us. Plenty to get into with Patrick. And also Edmonton Oilers news. Paul Coffey is coming back. What do you think, boys? Save it. We go national next. It's the National Hour on the Real Kyper and Bourne Show. We are live on Sportsnet. Sportsnet 650 in Vancouver, Sportsnet 960 in Calgary, and streaming always on Sportsnet Plus. Also available on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube, where we appreciate the chats, passionate chats, and a thumbs up as well. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. In a few minutes, we'll welcome in two-time Olympic gold medalist for Canada, Patrick Marleau. Also, most games played in the NHL.
History.
1,779.
So if you're watching us right now, you probably got a dual screen going with USA and Sweden. And I believe Sweden is going to a power play early in the third period. 1-0 America. Shots 31-20 for the States. So it's been a bit of a slog for Sweden. Doesn't look like they've had the puck much. I've been doing my show, the show. I haven't been watching that closely, but doesn't feel like they have the puck a ton.
I gotta say, Vinny Trocheck going to the box, not great. Probably hasn't played a whole ton.
Boy.
Takes down Landeskog
Oh,
twice.
double trip.
This hour, Real Kyper and Bourne, brought to you by Bet365, taking care of business. As far as Team Canada is concerned, Mitch Marner scores the overtime winner as Canada survives a scare from Czechia, but they lose Sidney Crosby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that was tense. That was tense times. I'm sure you guys were getting the text from people with legit concerns about it. Obviously, put myself in that boat too. But end of the day, elite talent made some elite plays, and you end up finding your way through. And it doesn't matter if you win 10-0 or 4-3 in overtime.
And a lot of people were on in Vancouver, were on in Calgary. A lot of people hate the Leafs. So it was a really special moment for them to not only get the win, but get the dunk on Leaf fans. So congrats to them.
And the depth of Team Canada, Nick Suzuki, a goal that we've probably seen a few times in a Montreal Canadian uniform, takes on a lesser role with this hockey club, but finds a way to score their biggest goal. And, obviously Mitch Marner's goal was the one that keeps their gold medal alive here, but they don't get there without Nick.
Yeah, you watch Montreal Canadiens games. If they're down one, if they're
so
tied, like Suzuki, Caulfield, Slavkovsky, they're a nightmare.
They always score late
They
goals.
score late all the time and score in overtime all the time. So that guy's a great guy to have out there in those sort of spots. But much closer than you would have liked. Canada couldn't find a way through a very defensive Czech team, right? Big, strong, backed off, said find your way through. And even though McDavid and McKinnon did often, all you can do from distance is shoot and just try to beat Dostal, and Dostal was very good.
And if this scoreline holds or USA ends up winning, they're going to play Finland in the semis. And Finland had the shaky start to the tourney. Everybody talking about they wanted Paul Maurice as the coach. And then they've kind of gotten hot here. And I think you can expect a very similar game in terms of defensive team that's going to pack the paint, play a lot of guys behind the puck. It's going to be a slog against them too.
It's a lot of guys like Lehkonen leaning on you.
And I mean, I'm not sure if you saw the end of that game. They came back in that game, tied it late, and then Lehkonen on a breakaway in overtime.
He's
was
so
down.
money.
He's a scary guy in a close game.
Another ex-Montreal Canadian. I
could use him right now.
I can't believe they gave him up. I think they gave him up for like a second or a third. It was a steal.
You know what I was thinking about today is Sam Bennett. Like Calgary having both Matthew Tkachuk and Sam Bennett, two of the four core pieces of a Stanley Cup. It's crazy, these guys, how when they're in a wrong spot and it doesn't work for them, they just don't look like they have that much value. And all of a sudden,
Who made that Sam Bennett trade?
Yeah. But Bennett, he'll be back in for
Easy.
He'll be back in
That
for
third round pick turned out great.
Canada.
Yeah, I hope he's back in. I really hope he's back in. You'd have to imagine if Sid's not going to play, he's obviously going to get back in. But you felt, I mean, in that game in the final against the States, obviously he scores that big goal, but you just feel him in big games. So
God, there's not a lot of vibe that Sid's going to find his way back into this tournament right now.
I mean, it's rare to see someone leave. I know it happened on contact, but he left of his own volition after realizing it felt badly. So I think it's a concern. So I'm walking down the hall. To me, that looks, and I'm purely guessing, ligamenty. Here's to hoping that's wrong. And he's able to find a way. Let's be honest, they're playing 2 games more now regardless. So
yeah, you're right.
You got a few days. Sunday's the big one. Not that Friday doesn't matter, but
you got to find a way through Finland or Sweden. Whatever.
Sweden down 1-0. 5 minutes into the second period here.
Let's talk more about these teams.
It does get the checking gets extremely tight now that we're down to 4 teams basically.
It is probably, I say this all the time, and I don't think people appreciate it. The hardest thing to do in hockey is score. Like, when a team starts backing off like this, and they start, they're so talented, and they play a really conservative system, finding your way through. You don't beat anyone one-on-one at this level. So, oh boy. So you need a breakdown. You need a systems mishap. You only do that with puck movement. It's really hard to find your way through. And so these underdog teams, Finland, Czechia, they've always got a chance against good teams. There's a level where you just can't do it when you're Latvia, but these teams always have a chance.
I wonder if the NHL will look back on a whole and study the flow of the games, the chances, all of that, because they did slice off 3 or 4 feet at this rink. And when you think about where the Olympic ice was once upon a time, right?
Yes.
And where it ended up now in 2026.
I played on it in college. 6 of our 10 rinks were Olympic sized. It's a totally different sport.
Our next guest, I'm sure, played on a big rink like that.
Yeah.
Right? Patrick Marleau, we'll ask
so
him about that as well.
Do we think then the NHL, they've made this sort of clear that they want to play on NHL-sized rinks?
I would imagine you sit down with a Connor McDavid and a few stars, Jack Eichel, and you go around the league and you once they're all done and ask them, what do you think about it, right? Okay, as promised, Patrick Marleau will join us now, 2-time Olympic gold medalist for Canada, somebody that knows a few things about international hockey. Patrick, thanks for joining us, man. How are you?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, just give us a background on where we find you right now and in terms of how much the hockey that you've watched so far and your thoughts on Canada's win, if you had a chance to watch it thoroughly.
Yeah, I was able to catch the last 2 periods today, and my nerves are still shot. Oh, my God. What a game that was.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. For Mitchie to get that winner at the end was unbelievable.
It was awfully exciting and way closer than I think a lot of us anticipated. Now, you obviously won a couple of gold medals and have experience with this. I was just trying to make sense of, how tough it is to get through a team that is playing so defensive, and Latvia comes to mind versus you guys back in the day. It's just tough to find your way through the neutral zone and to create anything, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. They were doing a good job of clogging up the neutral zone and kind of taking away the speed of Team Canada today. And like you said, we ran into that against Latvia the one time too. And those games are hard. Any game in the Olympics is hard to win because it's a one game winner takes all there. So it's everybody's putting their best out there, and the boys pulled out a win today.
Obviously, the big news also is the fact that Sidney Crosby is left the game halfway through, Patrick. And just in terms of over your career scenarios when you saw somebody go down and what that can do to a hockey club, especially we heard from our Luke Fox earlier that Sid was around in the intermission, cheering the guys on. But what it does to rally a team like Team Canada.
Yeah, It just definitely rallies the guys. You want to, when someone gets hurt like that, you want to pick up the slack and you want to win the game and win the game for those guys that put their bodies on the line and sometimes do get injured. Hopefully Sid can come back, but I think it definitely rallied the guys to get going and jump into action, get the win.
Patrick, what was your experience going from being a excellent NHL player to your first Olympics? Being around all the other elite guys and trying to find your place in your game where you're not playing 22 minutes a night.
Yeah, no, it was the first Olympics was obviously eye opening, but at that point in our career, I think a lot of Jumbo Joe went, Danny Heatley went, Danny Boyle. So basically, and I think our power play at that time was us 4 Sharks and then Shea Weber. So it was pretty nice to be able to step on the ice with those guys and have that comfort that first Olympics.
Speaking of Sharks, Patrick, this kid Sulla. How do you pronounce his last name? It's phenomenal what he has done. And I know you being a a big part of the San Jose Sharks have watched it rather closely, but you must even be in awe of what Celebrini has done.
Yeah, I think it's just. I mean, I've been seeing it the last 2 years in San Jose, and it's pretty amazing what that kid can do. And he's just going to continue to get better. And I'm glad that he's able to do it at this the biggest stage there is, and he's showing the world what he can do. And I think he's going to make some more Sharks fans out there by the way he plays and the tenacity he plays with, and the skill and grit. And he looks like he's driving the bus for the Sharks, and he's trying to do the same thing here.
So for the rest of us who weren't all-world athletes, like when you're super good, super young, like is there just no nerves? There's no like, holy crap, look at the moment here? What does that even feel like?
Yeah, I think some guys. There's certain guys that just have that about them where they relish those opportunities, those big moments, and I think you can pretty much look at anybody that's in the Olympics right now, that they're at the top of their, in their country, and they want to be there. They want to have that pressure on them. And, you can learn a lot by just looking around the room and from other guys that have been through it and how they handle it. And I think, Mac's probably doing the same thing, looking around the room and looking at Sid and Doughty and seeing how they're handling things.
As far as the goaltending is concerned, a lot of eyeballs on Binnington. He did not have a great season so far, but he's coming up large. But you've been around these tournaments long enough that your goaltender. It's not necessarily the save. It's when the save is made that can be a big difference, eh?
Yeah, 100%. And Binnington showed time and time again where he's got that in and he can make those big saves and make them at the key times like he did today.
So, Patrick, what are you doing these days with hockey? Are you still staying involved?
Yeah, I'm working with the Sharks with the player development and have an advisory role there as well. And right now I'm out in Kingston. I was able to catch my son's game. We played with.
Oh yeah, congrats! That's awesome.
Yeah. So still hanging out here. I'm probably going to catch some more games of Landon.
Hey Patrick, before we let you go, I just we were having a conversation about the big ice surface that was there once upon a time in the Olympics, and where we are today in Italy. And did you play in the real big rink at any point? And if so, just your experience of the ice.
No, I mean, we growing up in Saskatchewan, I think the biggest Olympic rink was in Notre Dame, so that was always a little interesting to go play there with the bigger ice surface. But no, just it makes when you practice on those bigger ice sheets, is a lot more too. When you get especially after you get a bagger going up and down the ice. But at the World Championships and things like that, it's definitely a little bit of a learning curve with the bigger ice. But with the way the game's now, it's so fast. I don't know if it makes that much of a difference anymore.
Well, you certainly made a difference when you skated, that's for sure. Patrick, really appreciate your time, man. Thanks for doing this.
No problem. Thank you for having me, guys.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Patrick Marleau. So
yeah, the Olympic ice, one thing that people think is that there's more room. So it's going to be either faster or you're going to see more plays. But what happens is guys just get content to live on the periphery. They play outside the dots and they just get to have the puck.
I know where you got to eventually get to.
Totally. So when you're
I'll
defending, you're like,
yeah,
I'll be in here. If you want to stay out there, that's great. I'm defending in here.
Do your circles and do your cutbacks.
Yeah. Well, tire yourself out and then get off the rink and give it back to us.
In the select few times that I've ever played on the Olympic size ice, I'm always blown away by how far from the boards into the middle of the ice. When you make that
East
turn,
to west.
Oh my God. It's it feels like as wide as some rinks feel long. So yeah. It's funny.
I mean, it is enjoyable. Like that, you do get to have the puck a little bit more stress-free at times, but that's it's not ideal for your viewing pleasure.
So, I think a lot of people. We talked about Sid a lot in the first hour. We didn't really talk about it a bunch in the national hour here, but I think having him there is just if in terms of the spiritual feeling of it, and just having Sid being on the team, that is a huge part of it. But when you see Suzuki immediately slide into his, I think it's an obvious statement here, but they're going to miss him outside of the leadership, like outside of him being Sidney Crosby. I thought he was really good on that line, and having him not be in there for the rest of it,
he's been excellent.
I wonder if they have enough without him to beat the States if they make the final.
They have enough. Just, when the margins are so slim, you'd like to have all you got,
He's still dynamic, right? He's not.
He's going to get 85, 90 points.
He's not Connor McDavid, but no one else is. But still, Sid can do things that Nick Suzuki can't.
No, head things, smart things. He just makes little plays, and he's you just trust him. He's one of those guys you feel good when he's out there about what's going to happen. Also on the power play, they've been very good, but obviously power play continues to click at a high rate.
Yeah.
Hey, how about Colorado's power play being last? By the way, I thought CC jinxed us today as Canada. He was like, a lot of Colorado Avalanche out there in the power play. By the way, they're last on the power play. I was like, oh, CC, we need one here.
It is weird.
But even like the play McKinnon scores on the power play, kind of a crappy play. Like, the McKinnon play is good, but he shoots it at a guy, goes through his legs.
He got a lot on it, though.
He did. He
Right?
shot it hard, but it went through legs and hit a leg and ticked off a post.
I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but I don't know if McKinnon loves to pass.
Yeah, well, no, he's got a zillion points.
I know.
Assists, yeah.
But just when you watch him play, like he really is a puck carrier. Like he is a puck carrier. He's a shooter. But like, I don't think his number one skill is like the passing game. And I wonder if that's part of the power play stuff. I don't know. He's so much better in transition than he is in the half court. But I don't know. I don't think he loves. I'm not saying he's a puck hog.
No,
by
just
any
different
stretch.
ways to create points. He's third in the NHL in assists.
Really?
I get your point. Yeah.
Maybe
I
I'm an
think
idiot.
he's so strong in the aspects that you're talking about that
Skating,
you don't necessarily notice it as much.
Yeah.
Right?
Like to go to shots, then he's leading the NHL in shots.
Yeah.
With 244.
Which
Loves to
you
shoot.
You never see a guy third in assists
Lead the league in
the
shots.
league in shots.
He has the puck all the time. On the rush.
Yeah, he's carrying it a ton.
I'm thinking he creates a lot of rebounds.
I thought for a second Natchez and Pasternak were going to be enough.
Those are the scariest
They were
random
good today.
guys to have on the other time because Natchez is maybe the NHL's fastest skater, not named McDavid, and maybe including McDavid.
His
And-
cutbacks are off the charts.
Yeah. Well, that's because his speed's so
Yeah.
fast. He blows guys up. And then Pasta, his one-timers and his speed, those are two dangerous boys that were on the other side.
How would you think? I think Drew Doughty played the fourth most on the ice today.
Mm-hmm.
Hammered Pasternak.
Yeah.
What have you thought of his game so far?
I think he's there mostly for his experience and his ability to calm the guys down.
Yeah.
He's not hurting them by any standard, but his best years are behind him.
Everything, his value, which he has a ton of it, but everyone says like the dressing room is just Marchand and Doughty not shutting up, right? Like they keep it light, they keep everyone involved.
But
They've won
it helps.
cups.
Exactly. It helps that they're two champion winners.
Yeah, you couldn't come in there as
and just
Marner and do that or something. And,
chirp it up,
right?
and play cheerleader.
Yeah.
He took a pretty regular shift today. He ended up playing 14-18, much more than both
Sanheim and
Parayko.
Yeah.
There were times in his career though he could control a game, right? Pace of play, and that's not there anymore.
I was talking to Daryl Sutter about Doughty. He said that there would be many games where they'd give him 26 minutes and Doughty would come in and be like, "What's going on? I can't get out there. Like I need." They're like, "Drew, we can't play you 30 a night," But that was I guess early in his career had that like puppy energy where it's just go go go, and he had to learn to control that and rein it in. He says they got really good once he kind of took a page out of Chelios's books, and you don't run at everyone and you kind of play on the inside a little bit more. He was able to play 30 a night for him.
Did you see that? I don't know where that clip was from. Maybe it was with Chicklets where he was talking about how hard Sutter coached him.
Oh, really?
Like he was talking. He said that the one time, like what he would love to do was when the other team's best defenseman, he'd be like, "God, that guy's the best defenseman in the league." Like he would just make these little comments to him about how much better other guys were than him, and it would piss him off. And he said that he hated it at the time, but now he looks back on it, he was his best guy.
Yeah.
Now, I hope we get to a gold medal game between Canada and the U.S. because Kachuk's had some history with Doughty, has he not?
Oh yeah,
Right,
big time,
good long,
big
history.
time.
Those guys hate each other.
That would no doubt get revisited a few times in a final game.
There's maybe no one more likely, Brad Marchand too, but to run their mouth, they're teammates, so no more Marchand, but run their mouth and get the better of Matthew Tkachuk than Drew Doughty. Drew he's ruthless and he's competitive.
Just as a quick update on this hockey game, this is a slog. These American, the defense core for the Americans, boys, is the real problem.
Yeah, slaving it up out there.
He's just sticks and arms and everything's
He's
in lanes.
He's a one-man car wash.
He really is.
Yeah. But I would say the Swedes have been in the American end for long stretches of this third period here. They just can't get it past Clutch Hellebuck.
Sorry for reacting there.
Yeah, they're
5.5 minutes
Sweden's
left.
officially in Team Canada territory now, late in the game.
Pouring it on.
Needing a big goal here.
Willie Nylander got it in him or what?
Well, hopefully. Do you guys want me to do game time?
Sure do.
Let it rip.
It's game time presented by Bet365. Visit the app for latest odds and see why it's ever ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only.
Do you consider betting Czechia today?
No.
No happiness edge?
No. I won't do it till the final. I can, like I said yesterday, and boy, got a lot of response to that. I can live with one of these results.
Mm-hmm.
These are if they lose today, it's horrible. It's a referendum. But I rest my head on my pillow saying that we didn't lose to America. Finland, same thing. I don't need.
We shouldn't even chat during a Canada-US game. We'll probably watch together, actually.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, no, we won't. It's 8 a.m.
No, it's 8 a.m. on a Sunday. So you coming?
Our neighborhood's having a shindig. We're all going to pile into someone's place.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that. So for just looking at this Sweden, if you wanted to live bet Sweden right now, they're down 1 goal. I know this won't play well in the podcast, but if you're listening, down 1 goal. They are plus 1050 with 5 minutes left in the game. So that's a decent number there.
To be honest, I might at a break here. I might have to hit that one. If we get to break quick enough.
You guys want to do a quick future for the NHL for some of the favorites for the Cup?
We're going to talk some NHL after the break.
We absolutely are. I got to talk about something. The Colorado Avalanche are still the favorite coming out of the break. They are plus 275. Tampa at the second at plus 450.
Can I get in on this?
Yes.
And Bet365, don't listen. Don't make that bet now. Don't bet plus 275 if you think they're going to. That number's available right before the playoffs start. You can find out who's injured, find out whatever. These cup bets, let's just keep your powder dry.
You just cost them a ton of money.
Now
keep your powder dry. Still make the bet. Just keep the powder dry.
Now is the time to look for value.
Post deadline.
Now is the time to look for value, and I'm looking down the list here. Dallas Stars at plus 1,600. You could do worse than.
This is the ones you want. It's the ones that they haven't traded for a superstar yet who you think they're going to.
It's coming.
Those are the teams.
Edmonton Oilers are still 10-1. This one's fascinating to me.
Oilers,
Panthers are ahead of the Habs, the Sabres, the Red Wings.
And they're 9 points out of playoffs.
The Panthers are plus 2,300. What do they know?
That they're
give me the Pittsburgh Penguins because they may not have Sid Crosby.
What do you mean? Yeah. So they're not going to win the cup. This is to win the cup. So,
but the numbers.
Oh, it's plus 5,000.
Plus 5,000.
So yeah,
you don't want that one.
No, you don't want that one.
No.
You think Sid's like hurt.
Listen, if I'm Kyle Dubas and the Pittsburgh Penguins, I'm scared to death right now.
Yeah.
Imagine Dubas up there today if they lose and Sid's hurt.
Right?
I finally get to do my rebuild.
All year long, you put yourself in a position to make some noise, maybe win a round or two.
Who's the most likely team to make a big deadline acquisition?
Let's finish this off.
Well,
go to break.
To this,
okay, that was game time presented by Bet365. Visit the app for the latest odds and see why it's ever ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Please play responsibly.
Okay, ask your question and we'll get to it after the break.
Most likely team or teams to make big deadline acquisitions.
Ooh, all right. We'll get into
Jeopardy
that.
music now.
Plus, speaking of the Edmonton Oilers, we talked about it a few shows ago. Paul Coffey back
reunited.
I got thoughts. I got thoughts.
We've got plenty thoughts on that. Stay tuned. Don't go away. More real Kyper Bourne after these words. Welcome back to the Real Kyper and Bourne Show. As a reminder,
Sorry.
this hour of Real Kyper and Bourne brought to you by Bet365. Another reminder, elimination hockey. Anything can happen.
Third game of the day with a late tying goal. Mika Zibanejad from Lucas Raymond.
Zibanejad, who's having a horrific season with the New York Rangers, is the hero right now. Pulling off a Nick Suzuki and tying the game late.
The pass from Lucas Raymond cross seam, he must have passed at 83 miles an hour. It was humming. And for Mika to hit that, pretty impressive.
Yeah, just so our listeners and watchers are aware, they're about to basically watch it.
Yeah, welcome to a live watch party of Sweden, USA. The Americans with 15 seconds left.
No, we can't do. I don't think we do play-by-play.
Can't do play-by-play.
Can't do play-by-play.
That wasn't really play-by-play anyway.
That was more about.
For the third time today, overtime.
We're going to
3-on-3 for 10 minutes.
Kyper, you have a little witch to you. You're very wizardy. You just kind of nail these things, like your feel, and like you said this is going to overtime.
Oh, I saw overtime all the way in the last few minutes here.
But it's not just this. In the group chat, you would concede that at sometimes he is wizardy. Like
absolutely not.
Really?
No.
I feel like he's got a good feel. Like he's called stuff in the past.
You guys bailed on
Maybe
Sweden when we went to the break.
Were you guys just here?
It's
I said
over.
I would bet on them because I said they're going to tie it up too.
You guys said it was over.
Man,
Absolutely.
I
did
said
not
we're
say
going
that.
in overtime.
I've watched enough Toronto Maple Leafs this season to know that William Nylander is scoring the overtime winner. Matthews is a dog's breakfast in OT. William's going to score the overtime winner.
And he's going to sniff it out, and he's just going to wait for that perfect opportunity to go in on a breakaway.
88 v 34 in OT is not a fair fight.
Okay, before we just sit here and
watch the
game and not say a word, let's talk a little Edmonton Oilers. There was a lot of chatter around Paul Coffey and making a coaching change, or at least changing a few things up. Paul Coffey is on his way back to coach on the Edmonton Oilers bench.
It's funny how long people have known this for. Like Stauffer had this a long time ago. You mentioned it a long time ago. It's weird that it's just happening. This to me feels like someone told Knoblauch he needs Coffey on the bench. I don't think Knoblauch made this call.
It's one thing to tell a Knoblauch, but it's another thing to tell Paul Coffey that too, right? Mm-hmm. Because you got to tell him you need to come back.
Isn't that aren't Cates and him boys?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
To me, that's Cates being like, our D's not as good. They were good when you were there. Go there again.
You have often alluded to the fact that 97 has a ton of sway there, and that a lot of stuff they
yeah.
What do you think his input on that was?
Yeah. Get Paul Coffey back.
Really?
Oh, and sprinkle Leon Draisaitl telling the world that the coaches have to be better before he left for Italy.
That was really fascinating.
And then they turn around and bring
little crop dust parting shot.
Yeah.
I don't see a world where Knoblauch's like long for this job.
Really?
Think about it.
Okay.
Right? Your player calls you out.
Yeah.
And then maybe you're told that you got to go get Paul Coffey back on your bench.
You're definitely getting...
You got to turn this thing into a Stanley Cup winning season here, or I don't see a world where Knoblauch's back.
No, if you go to the Cup final and lose 3 in a row, they're going, you can't get us over the hump. Sorry.
What would Coffey, like I've never been on a high level bench. What does Coffey bring that they've been lacking? Is it just the experience? Is it just having Paul Coffey and name there? What is it?
All of the above. I think there isn't one particular thing that you can nail. I think it's everything from a presence, maybe a more direct approach to how you talk to the players and what's at stake and what's on the line and what your expectations are.
What you value as important.
Right.
3-on-3 overtime underway.
How you get more out of your lineup than just throwing 3 or 4 guys out there for 26, 28 minutes.
Yeah, the other piece of that, I'm not sure. I think they had Mark Stewart running the D side of things for them on the back end. Interesting to see how that plays. A guy coming in saying, hey, not working with you. We're not going to fire you. We're just going to let this guy do your job now. That's a weird dynamic in the coach's room, isn't it? Of course, you say all the right things.
I think it's really, really strange.
Yeah.
Like this whole thing, I don't ever recall ever seeing or hearing anything like this, where a guy just leaves and then a lot of question marks, and then you go back and get the guy that left.
I know that doesn't happen by the coach. There's no way a coach is eating humble pie and saying, sorry about getting rid of you.
Do you think he could be the head coach?
It wouldn't put anything past me at this point. And it doesn't appear like that's the case, because if it is the case, Sammy, rip the Band-Aid off.
Let's do it right now.
Right away. And oh, by the way, when was the press release?
A third period of a tie overtime game.
Anybody find that a little strange?
Thought it was pretty funny. I mean, I just checked my phone. I looked at the email. I'm like, Coffee back on the bench, third period tie game.
Surely these guys won't talk about it for 20 straight minutes on their national hour. Not in the midst of the Olympics.
Oh.
Like really, really strange.
Yeah.
You had off days to do this. You got an off day tomorrow.
Yeah, they're back at the rink now. Yeah, no, it is weird.
Right?
So he's back involved. We'll see what that means for the Edmonton Oilers. Before we went to break, I led with the question, who do you think, what team is most likely to be looking to make a big swing when we get back at it?
Yeah, I have my finger on Dallas Stars.
Yeah. Like, just can't quite get over the hump. This year, if you feel like the Oilers are a little more vulnerable.
I think money's an issue, the cap's an issue, and what they can do, and they don't have a lot of assets. They're like the Leafs. Mm-hmm. They're just really hard pressed to find a way to bring in an impact guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't understand how it's going to happen, but they, more than the Leafs, are in a spot where it's like you can justify we're spending everything here. Like, we're clearing out the cupboards to make this happen.
And
got Ranton in there. Is Seguin, do we know?
I think he's done.
He's done? We assume he's done.
So they can spend that money?
So I'm looking at the NHL standings for the first time in a while. I guess Minnesota could potentially catch Colorado. They've closed the gap to 5 points.
Have they really?
Yeah. It's but they've played 3 more games than Colorado.
Okay.
So it's 83 points for Colorado, 78 points for Minnesota. If you're Dallas, you can kind of build your team. You know who you're going to play.
Yes. Also, 3 minutes in overtime, no 34 yet for the Americans, I don't think.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't seen him.
Yeah, we're looking at the standings here.
Interesting. It's funny talking to some people who, the way the NHL used to be,
mm-hmm.
It was like you knew who you were getting, and so you had to get out of your division first. And you're right. There's a couple of teams who can make that change. And typically, you're still looking for the same guys. These are going to be physical series. You're all looking for big bodies, all that sort of stuff. So Dallas would be an interesting one to watch for.
What about the Oilers, Skip? We were talking about the
Vegas?
bench.
Is Vegas done? Vegas feels like they haven't got Marner. They're not fooling around. Goalie?
They're never done. You know what's hurt them too is this William Karlsson, who's been there from day one.
Yeah. It's over?
Possibly gone for the season.
Oh, with injury.
Yeah, injured.
There's Matthews out there now.
Yeah. So I don't know in terms of their cap space, would they want to open it up a little bit for somebody else?
Mm-hmm.
But they're the one team that always is looking, no matter what their scenario is.
Yeah, those guys aren't afraid.
No, they're not afraid.
So the thing, what has stood out to me is right before the break, Seattle was rumored to have made the big pitch for Panarin, like $14, $15 million contract per year just to get him to come to waive for Seattle. This feels like they're getting desperate to do something.
I think what's happening now is there's certain markets, like I think Seattle would be in this, where it's just going to be hard for them.
America wins it. Quinn
Hughes ends it in overtime. Crap!
Keeps the dream alive. USA and Canada today needing overtime to advance.
Yeah. That wasn't even like a spectacular. He just shot it from distance, and Markey missed it.
You can kind of as soon
Good
as
play.
he curled into the middle there.
But
That's a good spot to let a guy
3-on-3. Gee, I'm just watching him out of the corner of my eye. He's twisting and turning. Nobody could catch him. Nobody could get the puck off of him.
No. It is funny how in 3-on-3, like you're like, yeah, we'll let him have one from there because that's like not that dangerous compared to every other look, but that's just a ripper.
Just to go back on Seattle a little bit with Panarin, some teams, some markets have already established we're not a destination place for a lot of guys. Mm-hmm. We have to be ultra aggressive, and that's why they offered $3.5 million more.
I want to see some teams admit to that and do that. Like in Canada, I think you're gonna you might.
You
see
don't
some
want to
team
admit to it. I don't think you want to admit to it.
I think you have to, or you're never going to get good guys.
Well, you can admit to it like internally, but you can't publicly tell your fan base that nobody wants to come and play
but
for
you're
us.
publicly telling your fan base that when you offer a guy $15 million to play for you who goes somewhere else for 11.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't like Starbucks coffee.
Doesn't like the rain.
Yeah. But I do think that at some point when you're in these sort of conversations for superstars, you got to go, I know we're overpaying, but we just have to get superstars. Looking at the Minnesota Wild for all those years, Kirill Kaprizov says, I'll play for you, but it's going to take like 17. And they're like, okay.
Yeah, and they're okay.
Yeah. All right.
And
that's what it is then.
Now they've got Quinn Hughes who just scored the game-winning goal. They're gonna have to go ultra aggressive now too. You're all in if you're Bill Guerin, and tremendous amount of.
That's by the way, Hughes versus Landeskog, a playoff matchup in the weight cuts back on him. Sorry,
Posted in.
Trocheck.
Mm-hmm.
They got a lot of interest in Vincent Trocheck.
You know, I was going to say that it seems like everyone likes Trocheck when they coach him, but it's still the same guy, right? Mike Sullivan is still there. Because Trocheck's getting out there in overtime. He's out there. They were using him.
Oof. Darlene, they just showed Darlene. That guy cares.
Billy Garrett.
Holy
it's
smokes.
the missed I-10 hugs.
Oh,
That's the good stuff.
yeah, that's feels good up there, eh, boys?
Oh, both
Jackson Lacombe.
managements, Canada and the U.S.
Woo!
dodging a bullet.
I mean,
Watching
Hair
Doug
of your
Armstrong.
chin.
Watching Doug Armstrong saying, yeah, my ability to pick my next job is still alive.
And what's that next job, Kyper? Toronto?
Buddy, I'm not speculating that, Sammy. Come on.
I never said you were. I was just asking.
Willie Nylander will be at practice in a couple days. We're going to say Willie's probably spent $100,000 on fashion in Italy since he's been there. Looking forward to seeing his outfits post-Olympics are going to be.
Kipper thought the $65,000 one was the Phantom.
Yeah.
Don't you worry.
Yeah.
He's going to be.
He's got a scarf worth that, pal. Look out.
Can I do my impression of customs?
Yeah.
Mr. Nylander, anything to declare?
He's like, yeah.
No.
How much time you got?
Yeah. I'm awesome.
I can't believe they're doing 3-on-3.
Travesty.
It is a travesty. It's like this is something that it was 4-on-4 in Vancouver, I think, for the OT, right?
I can't remember.
No, it was Sid, Aginla, Niedermeyer, and Doughty on the ice.
It was four.
And
four to me is okay. I can live with four.
Yeah.
Like Quinn there just weaving around, holding on while they set up like a basketball defense on the inside.
We mentioned this in our first hour, but if it goes to the final here and we're on track, the collision course is still on of Canada versus USA. They always play. The score of that game is going to be 3-2 or 2-1. And it's probably going to go to overtime. Like, we're really going to have, is there a higher level in the sports history than these two teams potentially playing in a gold medal game overtime?
But how about this? You go McDavid.
Listen,
McDavid, McKinnon, McCarr, Eichel, Matthews, Quinn Hughes. I mean, come on, throw the puck out there.
Yeah,
I want to see it.
It'd be awesome for Tuesday night in January.
Invent a new game, shorten the rink, invite 12 guys.
3-on-3 hockey exists as a league. 3-on-3
ice
or something
but
like
then
that, isn't it?
Promote that.
I just can't imagine.
There should be a 3-on-3 Olympic event.
I'm here for that. I actually think that's a great point.
Yeah, that would be good.
Coach it up.
I'm not watching it.
It's better
but you
than
guys,
doubles,
you guys
luge,
can watch
or
it.
whatever.
You wouldn't watch 3-on-3 hockey
What
if
is
it was
the
in the
speed
Olympics?
skating event where they just touch each other's butt and
Oh, you
skate
mean
around?
Team Pursuit, where our Canadian women won gold?
Congratulations to us. But what is that? Is it
Team Pursuit.
The last person to cross? That's our. There's some fascinating
Buddy,
events. Is my point.
don't look at me like I'm the Olympic expert. I have no idea. I just know that they won gold.
We now go live to what's his name? Devin Haru. Is that our Canadian
Yeah, that's our guy.
We got
That's okay.
athletes pretending they just finished a hockey game, for goodness sakes. That's how much they.
bobsled
like,
boys, our new favorites.
I mean, like, you might want to just, there's some bobsledding fans out there. I'm not sure they're too
3-on-3
happy to
hockey.
hear
Good-
about
good work.
hockey.
Do you think is there any world where it dampens it if Canada or USA wins 3-on-3 overtime in a gold medal game?
Who wins?
Listen, it's already dampened it for me.
We're gonna be dampening it aggressively.
I hate it. I hate it now in the NHL.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But
They're
you hate
having
in the NHL,
conversations
like-
about to take away the regrouping, the constant regrouping.
Yeah. I wasn't on board at all with any sort of over and back or whatever, but I can be talked into something.
If I feel like another team's got a major advantage on 3-on-3, I would coach my side once they get the puck
Never give it up.
to just rag it for 10 minutes.
We like our odds in the shootout better.
Right?
I mean, just
And get to a shootout with my goalie.
circles in the
Yes.
defensive
Circle.
Do you
Circle
remember
for
the
10
the
minutes.
Canadian fan.
I don't care. I don't care. If I feel like I can't compete trading chances,
Yeah.
I'd kill the clock.
Oh my God.
And I tell you what, if a team did that, it would end 3-on-3 like that.
Yeah. Do you remember there was a game? I want to say it was Philadelphia, Tampa Bay.
they would
where
throw
that
stuff
happened.
on the ice.
Yeah.
They
They
would
would.
throw stuff on the ice.
Kip has just declared he would absolutely ruin the spirit of the sport to make a point.
No, I'd ruin the spirit of 3-on-3.
It was definitely Philadelphia and Tampa, where I forget
Tampa
who it
was
was.
playing no forecheck at all. They were playing as like a 0-3-2.
And whoever it was had the puck behind the net and stood there for, what was it, 2 minutes?
Yeah, they
And
just stood there
would not
and
move it
said,
out.
If they don't want to play, we don't want to play. Crowd.
But you're
booed.
supposed to blow that down.
The refs did eventually blow it down. I think it's actually a penalty. I think
Delay?
like there's some pressure to attempt to play hockey, I guess.
Oh, I can't believe that that's actually in the rule book. That you can get a penalty for. Mark Stone should have got a penalty for that cross ice pass. He was standing still.
Oh, my God. I mean, he is the ultimate hot and cold guy. Like, some nights he looks unbelievable, and other nights he looks like a beer leaguer out there. He's a very interesting guy.
It's funny how often you'll hear just like the play-by-play people or whatever, just like openly like, yep, Mark Stone's slow. It's like, just compared to the rest of the league, I guess he is. But yeah, man, he knows what he's doing out there. Trust him as much as anyone in the NHL.
Got a text from somebody in Italy and just said, just not looking good for Sid.
Really?
But
Ooh.
that's not me saying that he's out or I'm reporting anything. I'm just, as Doug McLean says, I'm telling you what I'm hearing.
Well, that's going to be something the Canadians are going to have to deal with. Obviously, no shortage of talent. No one's Sidney Crosby, but watching that American side there, Canada's better.
I'm sure there's a few, I guess we can talk about it here too, but I'm sure there's a few NBC execs watching Sabinajad tie it late there and like have this huge build-up where they built up this whole thing being like, we want Canadian tears. And it's like, meanwhile, they get Swedish puddles. Like, they get
That was
bounced in
very
the corners.
close to disaster.
Like
that Swedish team, though, we were saying when they were down one, part of the reason we thought they would score, I mean, it's Nylander, Dahlin, Kempe, Bratt, Forsberg. Like, they are loaded.
Carlson.
Erik Karlsson had the puck a bunch. They had 3-on-3. I don't know if that's any advantage to the U.S., so good for Quinn Hughes just shooting it past Markstrom, who doesn't make you feel awesome.
I actually like the idea of the 3-on-3 Olympic game.
Olympic event. Totally. Yeah, I mean, you would coach it totally differently, right? It's more of a possession-based.
Because there's 3-on-3 leagues around.
Isn't it called 3-on-3 ice or something? Which,
Yeah.
Oh, you don't think like the NHL would continue playing and Edmonton would just loan Connor McDavid for this?
I don't think
with Bouchard and Draisaitl, you could actually do a 3-on-3 NHL player.
I don't think it's NHLers.
Oh,
I think
no
I think the
kidding.
3-on-3 is like you could even send the
listen,
best junior
it's like-
players.
Seth
I'm
Griffith
not.
and
I'm not.
Best American
I'm not
League guys.
convinced for the next 20 years we're going to be playing international hockey every other year and shutting the league down. I think that gets revisited.
I know you do, and I know you're very much in the NHLPA.
I just no.
camp
It's not a no. The PA's fine with it, right? They
yeah.
they
PA
get to.
seems to be fine with it.
They're fine with it.
Yeah.
I just think that you shut down the NHL for this long. It may take a while to kind of spark it up a bit here. Every other year, you're going to shut down for 3 weeks. I mean, I still think long term. I don't know.
World Cup is their event.
Yeah,
so they would
they'll do it again in 2 years and do the
How
World
many
Cup.
teams would be at the World Cup?
I'll tell you another thing that I'm hearing is that for the World Cup, the NHLPA and the NHL is taking a lot of heat to get Russia back in.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, the Russian players want back in.
Well, I'm sure they do. But didn't Bettman make some statement that we're just following the international community, and right now Russia
But it's not.
currently
But it's
waging
not their
war on
event.
Ukraine.
It's not the WIHF's event. It's
No,
the
it's
NHL's.
not. But Gary has said that they had been following. That's why they weren't at the
Yeah, but
the Four Nations.
a lot of Russian players feel like, why is that, Gary? It's your event. It's the PA's event. The PA's hearing from their Russian players, we want back in our event. We're good enough to play in the NHL, but we're not good enough to play in your event.
Yeah, no, I think the only case you have is either we shouldn't be here, or, well, I guess you can say it has nothing to do with the flag there. It's like Russian athletes competed under no flag.
Yeah,
in
it was
Olympics.
the Olympic athletes
But
from
you
Russia.
Yeah.
Could the World Cup do that? Can't have the Russian flag. Can't whatever.
Yeah,
you
I
guys-
have no idea what the answer is, but you've still got a big portion of your league, and the Players Association has Russian players.
Well, there's a reason they're not at the Olympic Games, and personally,
Yeah.
I think that they should stand by that standard, and it's a pretty good one. So we'll see if anything changes.
Yep,
So
we'll see. We'll see
the-
what happens.
The semifinals, boys, now set. We have times for the games.
Let's hear it
So Friday, February 20th. This is from Frank Cervelli. So if he's wrong,
early.
we're 10:40. Yeah. Boy, the Americans are gonna be sour. Oh, we're gonna play late again. Oh.
Do they in a 3:00 game?
They're playing the 3:10 game.
Buddy, this is perfect. We get to talk Canada again, watch Americans mid-show.
Yeah, we're doing the exact same thing on Friday. So we'll be back to an hour tomorrow, 5 to 6, and then on Friday we'll be back to 2.
I think I'm going to come in and watch the game with you at 10:40, and I'm just going to not even watch the game. I'm going to film you.
No, don't do that.
Yes.
No, don't do that.
No, I think people on
Live stream.
YouTube would be really interested.
There's
Only if it's close or they're trailing is that going to be.
There's nothing worse. Just as an aside, maybe I should do this. I hate when people set up their cameras to like film them watch something.
Yeah.
It's like you're acting totally differently than you would if you're just like watching it without the camera.
I also.
But that's our whole world now.
I know.
Everybody is now like a skit guy. Everybody thinks they're the host of Saturday Night Live.
The attention
embarrassing.
economy, man.
Like, I'm embarrassed for some people that I see on my phone pretending they're actors.
Well, I act like I belong here every day. So.
You're leading my charge, Sammy, of just bad acting.
Yeah.
I'll co-sign that, Kyper.
Yeah.
All right.
So no hockey tomorrow at all.
0 hockey tomorrow.
Oh, man.
Another
And-
night off.
Another night off.
I don't know what
Are
I'm
we
going
back
to
to
do.
an hour
ceiling.
tomorrow?
Yes, I just said that. We're back 5 to 6 tomorrow.
I'm still thinking you're acting. That's why
No,
I'm not
5 to
paying
6
attention.
p.m. Eastern tomorrow. And then that'll be our last hour show. We're back on Friday, 4 to 6. And then next week, we start back with our regular schedule, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern, when we get to talk about whatever happens in the gold medal game on Monday. And then Leafs practice coming right up after that. And then I think the Leafs play Wednesday against
Ooh, less than a week. Back up NHL hockey.
Let's go.
I am looking forward to the return.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait.
Our thanks to Luke Fox,
Watch the Leafs be buyers on Jeff Skinner.
NHL writer for Sportsnet.ca, and Patrick Marleau, 2-time Stanley Cup champion. 1,779 games, the most games played. How long does it take you to heal after 1,700 games?
Do again.
No?
I don't think he's healed yet.
No? All right. Take a deep breath. The games are over. We get to the semifinals starting on Friday. If you get a chance, give us a rating and review. We'd love to hear from you. Have a great night, everybody.